What's up, peeps? Part 2 of the Nissan Lowrider build. It came in today. I wasn't expecting it this early, but here it is, and, well, go ahead and get right into it. So, I had to order it in pieces off their website because you can't get the whole kit all at once, apparently. So, you've got your bed topper glass, you got the interior glass in this bag, you've got the upper half of the bed in this bag, there's the topper, white buckets, bed straps, front bumper, grill, here is the bed sides of the tailgate, the interior panel, the stickers, wow, they gave me 2 interior panels, huh? That's weird. I didn't order that many. There's the front with the hood and the front fenders. Lens set. Instrument cluster with the steering. And you got mirror and wipers. So, okay, looks like I got everything but the upper cab mount, I guess. Whoops. Well, thought I had everything. Well, guess we're on hold for that then. Okay, this is what I got. I got the front servos pretty much situated. The rear ones, that's the best I can do with them. Again, because I've got this spur gear I got to take into account. I would have loved to lay them down, but I can't do that. So I got one bolt on the bottom, as you can see. I'm going to make a brace for the top. These should be fine. They're bolted in. Bring it around to the back here. That's what I'm looking at for the back. So, again, this is roughed in for the moment. I do have my new controller and my receiver hooked up. And right now it's just on, just grab the ESC out of the bin just to give power to everything. So what I got is one of these Mius So it's a ME10B. Basically there's 10 channels. I got the front and rear off channel 9 and 10, VRA and VRB, which go to these dials here. So maybe I can do this with holding this here. I got front and back. That's all I can get. Front and back. There's going to be no side to side or three-wheel or anything. I don't have the type of switches available on this controller. But it'll A-frame. I just got to clean the wiring up. That's not the ESC I'm going to use. I'm just using that for power right now. I got another ESC and a motor I'm going to use. Or I just might throw a brush system in this one. You know, I don't know yet. But there's that for now. Like I said, the endpoint adjustments I'm going to have to fiddle with to get it to lay straight. But it's not going to be perfect due to the teeth on the servo arms. But it'll do. It'll be alright. Just gotta dial it in more. But that's it so far. So until that upper cab portion arrives, we'll start mocking stuff up. I'm going to put a brace on the back of this, get this to where it won't, you know, I don't think it's really going to go anywhere serious, but put a brace up there to stabilize that. I'm not going to get too crazy on the switches going around the track. These are the wheels I'm going to stick with. The reason being, back in the day, like especially with the Nissans and the Mitsubishis that were 6-lug, one of the cheap upgrades you can do is throw on a set of Chevy Z71 4-wheel drive rims. These look reminiscent of that, so I'm gonna use these rims. And you know, everything's shaved in. I had to shave it off this control arm here in the back. I had to shave that knuckle. I still got to do it on this side, but it wasn't too terrible bad. That's where things are at the moment. So now that I know what switch does what, I'm going to tidy up this wiring and take it from there. Okay, everybody, we're back. And I finally got the final piece of the puzzle, I think. I don't know yet. Just got this in the mail yesterday. It is the cab portion, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and reiterate. In order to get the separate body, if you didn't buy the Founder Edition, you have to buy it all, the pieces, one piece at a time. It doesn't come as its own kit, which that's kind of disappointing, but I guess that's the way she goes. Also, there's no online instruction manual for the spare body that I've seen, so that's gonna be fun. Third, I'm gonna assemble this off camera because I blew up all my camera stands. So tomorrow's payday and it can wait till then. So I'm gonna assemble all this off camera. Kind of eager to see how this is all gonna pan out. See if my wheelbase is gonna be correct. How it's gonna look in the back with them servos sticking up like that. It's still might do something about that. But other than some odds and ends, the chassis is almost dialed in. I think I'm gonna use a brushless motor and this brushless ESC because it's not going to be very high performance. I don't expect this thing to do much of the track. I'm not going to waste a bunch of high-grade components on it. So, like I said, I'm going to transform all these parts into a pickup truck body and see what happens from there. Okay, folks, we're back, and this is what I'm looking at so far. I've got everything just barely screwed together, just enough to keep its shape. And unfortunately, it ain't gonna tuck rim. So what I'm gonna have to do is possibly take this chassis. This is an old Secura D5 Lite. Probably use those rear control arms with the shorter shafts because they're identical to the REDCAT. Possibly use these shorter control arms, or at least the shorter turnbuckles. Just shorten up all this. However, the wheelbase is good. It's kind of, can't really position this because of the way things are, but the wheelbase will definitely make it. Just I'm off on the width. So, fortunately, it won't stay put. Yeah, that's fine. So I don't know if the internet lied to me, or I was wrong, or I was wrong, but me or the internet was wrong. I don't know which one. Probably me, but the wheelbase looks like it'll work out, but I got to get that track width taken care of. Plus, I got to, cut this up so these can, go through there. And then we can put the bed topper on it. So that's where I'm at now. I haven't begun to get the rest of this together. I really don't want to do any more until I get this all put together. Oddly enough, they don't give you any hardware when you buy this in pieces, so Gotta use your own. But whatever. I faced worse, so get to work on this chassis and then take it from there. Okay, so real quick, looking at this, we got our work cut out for us. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm just gonna pretend that goes in there like that. Okay. Tuck in, yay! So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to trim that piece off right at the very edge. Right there, that thing with the 2 holes in it. I'm gonna have to get a shorter servo arm for both sides. That way I can angle the shock in, and then I might get a little turning radius out of it. But that there, right there where the tire's touching, that's gotta get trimmed. So I can just zip, zip that on both sides. I gotta find me some shorter servo horns, and should take care of that. May have to trim that off and re-tap a hole to get that geometry back going again. I could use these things on the front on the old Secure chassis for the uppers, or I just might have to use some M3 super long set screws or something like that. So that's where we're at with that.